Welcome to the Family First Retirement Podcast with George Politarhos. For more information, visit betrayawealth.com. Now, let's get to the show.
George, this time of the year, spending a lot of time with the families, maybe those relatives we only see a couple of times a year. Now, we're coming off an election, a big election, so we don't want to talk politics. We're exhausted. We're burned out by it. But what are some of the important conversations that we could or should be having with our family members that doesn't revolve around anything controversial?
We should all be blessed to be with our families if we're all able to get together. My sister from California came in on Thursday, and we're so happy to see Polly back home. She's here till almost New Year's, which is great. But at this time of year, we're really talking about making sure mom and dad are okay, right? Making sure they planned. Maybe we need to address their financials. Maybe we need to look at long-term care. Opportunities are here for tax planning. It's a new year coming up, right? And people think, well, I already did everything. I can't do anything for next year. But let's start off the year right, because what's our first concerns come January?
Taxes.
Taxes. This is the time to come in, sit down, and really meet the family at Betrayo Wealth, because in Greek, Betrayo means family. Matter of fact, today, we're going to have a chance to meet everyone again. And right now, I'm here with Achilles Vargiamis.
This weekend, we're going to spend some time meeting the family members of the Betrayo Wealth Group. And I'm glad you did that, George, because I've known Achilles for a couple of years now, but the most complicated aspect of this individual is pronouncing his last name right.
It's so funny.
First of all, you guys are excited because I'm on the radio with you guys. Let's be honest.
Very much so.
That's why everyone's excited. It's not about the name. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult.
So, Achilles, let's break it down for somebody that's, we mention you every week as part of the family here at the Betrayo Wealth Group, one of the great team members. But what exactly is it that you do serving the community?
Basically, what needs to get done for our clients. I manage a book of business here. We have assets under management that I manage, but that doesn't stop there. It's planning, it's conversation, it's just making sure that we're on the same page. It's constant communication with our clients, making sure that we're providing the best service that we can for them.
Betrayawealth.com, P-A-T-R-I-A wealth.com to meet George, Achilles, and the entire team. All right, so let's look back on 2024. What have you been most proud of?
So before I get into that, I want to talk about the tree. I'm pretty sure there's a squirrel or a bird that's living in that tree because, again, we're through the ceiling. You guys didn't talk about that, but I'm pretty sure I hear something squirreling around in there.
So it's Betrayo Wealth Group and Nature Reserve.
And there's no wind in here, so the tree's moving by itself. So, what I'm most proud of, I'm going to say more of a team, is how we work good as a team and how we've come together. We finish each other's sentences, but we know what's right, and what's right is taking care of the client. And we're all always on the same page when it comes to that. I don't want to speak for our clients, but when they walk out, they're happy. And that's a team effort. We put that forth here at Betrayo.
302-330-2166. Again, 302-330-2166. Achilles, what were people most concerned about in 2024? Social Security, taxes, the debt that we're in right now. What did you find that most people needed help with?
I would say all of the above. I won't call it the uncertainties that are in the air. And a lot of people had to just kind of break it back and take it back down to the beginning where it's planned. Let's plan for things. Okay, we're uncertain about certain aspects in the government environment, whatever the case may be. What's going to correct this? What's going to help this? Plan. Go back to the basics, right? And that's kind of where we really kind of focused on this year, was getting back to the basics. Let's take out the uncertainties. Let's plan for them, and let's go forward.
It really goes back to, Mark, we always say about going to sleep, being able to sleep at night, getting rid of those concerns. We can't control everything, right? We know that. But the things that we can control how our Social Security, when to turn on Social Security. We can control planning for taxes. We really can control having a financial analysis plan put in place, understanding what we're doing, how we're working, and where we're going to be tomorrow. Because we can't control everything, but this part of it we can control and work with.
302-330-2166. All right, Achilles, what's your one piece of advice to adults as we head into the new year? What should they get ahead of? What do they need to know about their finances as we prepare for the next 12 months?
2025, let's approach it with an open mind. Let's look at what the opportunities are ahead of us, and let's try to take advantage of what's there for us to take advantage of. I tell clients all the time, make sure you take time out of your busy schedules to focus on yourself. A lot of us are too busy and we put this on the back burner. Make sure you put yourself first and take time and speak to your advisor or get your second opinion, whatever the case may be.
You know, it's funny you say that because a couple of weeks ago, George and I were having this conversation about making 2025 the best year ever. And one of the pieces of advice was treat yourself. Celebrate yourself.
Absolutely.
You work hard. Don't be afraid to stop and, spoil yourself a little bit with your money.
We're allowed to do that.
And then for me personally, when I get nervous, I say right a lot. And right before we got on this, George is like, if you say right, I'm gonna,
Stab you with the pen.
So I said it once and I flinched because I thought I was gonna get stabbed. But yeah, that's
come across the desk.
Personally, that's kind of my 2025. Go get it.
All right. Everybody's goal is a little bit different, right?
Don't get stabbed. Rule number 1, right?
Don't get stabbed.
That's what we say.
2024 was a good year. I want 25 to be just as good, so don't get stabbed.
You can meet Achilles and the entire team at betrayalwealth.com, PATRIA wealth.com, or 302-330-2166. Achilles, thanks for spending some time with us this weekend, and happy holidays to you.
It was my pleasure, everyone. Thank you for having me. Happy holidays, and let's go.
All right, as Achilles leaves the radio booth, we continue to get to know and talk to some of the great team members of the Betrayal Wealth Group here this weekend on Family First Retirement. George, who's in the hot seat next?
Well, next, I am really honored and blessed to have not just my son, Jared, but also the person that makes the whole company work, Director of Marketing Operations for the Betrayal Wealth family, Jared Politarhos.
How you feeling, buddy?
Hello, everyone. I'm great. How are you, Mark?
Every business needs somebody that can handle all the technology, if you will. Jared does a fantastic job with the YouTube page. He does a great job with the social media as well. Kudos to you, and a great 2024 and all your successes as well.
Everything you see, folks, on the internet, if it's the YouTube channel, the Facebook, the Reels, is from him. Yep. Jared produces and makes it all. Our customers, our family members are so lucky, Mark, because once you become part of the Politarhos Betrayal Wealth Group family, you're going to hear from Jared once a week, twice a month, with new information, things that make you think. Social Security rules, laws that have been passed or bills that have been put out there, things that can affect us. And of course, we always like to put our family touch in there about family recipes and pictures of new events.
Yep.
But that all comes from this young man. He is such an intricate part of this business. I can't put to words how great he does his job.
How uncomfortable is he right now? Because
Very uncomfortable.
Oh my gosh, his lips are tight. They're like they're like a millimeter thin.
My face has not moved.
So, Jared, what has been your most proud moment from looking back on the past 12 months? Tell me about some of your successes.
Professionally, I think I've grown a lot in the Betrayal Wealth Group. I've become very involved from meeting with clients to also growing our social media more. And I think personally, just growing and changing into a whole new person and starting fresh in the year 2024.
Let's talk about 2025 and looking through the next year, the next 12 months. What's some advice that you'd give the families that you serve?
I think some major advice that we have is keep in touch with us as much as we keep in touch with you. Call us, Facebook us, Instagram us, open up your email from us. We're always reaching out to you. However, I can't reach out to you unless you answer.
Right.
And I think it's important that you give us a call anytime that you have a question, anytime you want to talk about any major life decisions, any changes, anything like that. Give us a call, email us, comment on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever the source is, get in touch with us some way, somehow.
302-330-2166 is the phone number to reach out to the team at the Betrayal Wealth Group. George, you were going to say?
We are not a transactional firm. And transactional means you do one thing with us and then you go away. We are constantly involved with our customers and our clients because our family members are important to us, Mark. We're at the point where when you're hearing about us, we're touching base with our customers every quarter about new ideas, how their funds are doing, how their portfolio is producing. But the customers that take advantage of us, as they should because we're part of your family, are the ones calling and saying, we have some life-changing events going on. I'm looking to buy a car. Should I lease it or should I buy it? What's the best tax plan? Can I do a pro forma tax report to see how I can do some conversions? That's what's so important. What Jared was saying is you need to be in touch with us as much as we're in touch with you.
Yeah.
Those companies that sit there and they do one trade with you or one transaction, they walk away and you don't talk to them again for a year, 2 years, or maybe never, is not the Betrayal Wealth Group. If you don't like that huggy, touchy feeling
Helicopter
company,
parent almost.
that's
borderline. And it's not to the point where it's exhausting sending your kid off to college type of helicopter parent, but like we're always in contact with you. We always want to be involved in any decision, anything that goes on in your life, we want to know.
But that's not a bad thing, though, because you talk about because how many times do you hear from somebody seeking out that second opinion? I can't find my financial advisor. I can't get them to return a phone call or an email or a social media DM.
Absolutely right. We hear that all the time. Or you say, who's your financial advisor?
I don't know.
It
Or
changes.
he lives in California, or I haven't heard from him in years.
But that's what being a local company. So we service to Wilmington, Dover, Atlantic City, Pennsylvania, Delco, Chester County. We're right around, and you need to come in and take advantage of these customer appreciation events that we do for customers. That we're active baseball games and events here at the office. We have one coming up in January. We're having a kickoff for the new year, which we want our customers, clients, and radio show listeners to come have a drink with us and really get to meet us even more in person.
And I think it's a great opportunity if you are from the radio show and you're listening right now, reach out to us at the telephone number. Give me a call at 302-330-2166. Let's have a conversation. I would love to give you more details about that event coming up.
PetraiaWealth.com. That's another great way to reach out to the team, PATRIA Wealth.com. Or, of course, as Jared just said, 302-330-2166. Before we get somebody else in the hot seat, because I know how uncomfortable you are right now, Jared, what is your take on the 9-foot tree and the 8-foot ceiling?
I can't even talk about it. I mean, it's...
What are you worried about?
Everything. There's no ceiling tile. I mean, and George is so proud about it.
And apparently,
It may stay here up all year.
Nope, it's
January
coming down the
24th.
26th of December.
It's a Valentine's tree. It's a Mardi Gras tree.
Nope, it's coming right on down the 26th.
4th of July tree.
It will be here January 24th.
You can meet Jared and the entire team at PetraiaWealth.com, PATRIA Wealth.com. Achilles did say that he thinks there's some wildlife living in that tree. Do you hear it as well, Jared?
Well, Achilles isn't the sharpest one.
Petrea in Greek means family, and I feel like I'm sitting around the dinner table with a bunch of
Exactly right.
every day. You're getting a peek behind the scenes of the Petrea Wealth Group. Hey, Jared, thank you, buddy. I hope you have a great rest of the year, and more importantly, let's make 2025 the best ever with the Petrea Wealth Group.
You too, Mark. Thank you.
As Jared leaves the room, next up in the hot seat as we get to know the family at the Petrea Wealth Group a little bit more this week. PetraiaWealth.com, 302-330-2166. And George, up next is probably one of my all-time favorite people who's joining us.
It is, and she is a fantastic woman. Angie, who handles all the Medicare and everything that we do, the fixed index annuities, retirement planning with me, is not just my sister, my much older sister, but my very, very best friend, Angie Politarhos.
How are you, friend?
Hi, guys.
Friend.
How you doing?
So, Angie, love having you on the show this weekend, this time of the year, the holidays. Do you really enjoy it? How much fun are you having with the family?
I love my family. I love being with my family. We're the typical, my big fat Greek family.
100%
That's all I can say. Everybody's crazy. And anybody that comes to our table will be highly entertained.
Angie, much like a CPA who they are always thinking about, April 15th, tax time, your world revolves around Medicare and Medicaid. And with open enrollment now behind us, how crazy was this season for you?
I'm very happy it's over.
Right.
It was very tough this year. They changed some rules. So everybody's drug plans had to be reevaluated and relooked at, which was a lot of work because you have to look at, everybody's drugs that they take and try to find them the best plan. So normally, the drug plans are pretty status quo year in and year out, but they drastically changed this year. So it was a, big concern for me. I had to, you reach out to all your customers. Some people didn't want to even look at them. So, you do the best you can for the client to make them, aware of the changes. But some people just don't want to go through the process. But I would say 95% of my clients, we reviewed all their drugs and we made changes to their drug plans.
And the work doesn't stop just because open enrollment is behind us. I mean, this is a nonstop process for you and the families you serve.
Definitely. When you turn 65 or when you're getting ready to retire, the rules are so different for, out there, when you're employed and when you stop working. So these are all things that we look at. So that's what we're here to assist you with. Whenever you're getting your time is close to retiring, we'll help you set the pace do your Medicare for you, help you set up your Social Security, do everything necessary to proceed with your retirement.
George, should we inflate Angie's ego a little bit here? Are you going to be able to handle it for the rest of the day, her walking around all chest all puffed out?
We're going to have to probably take the wall down, but that's okay because she deserves it.
We had a great conversation with Angie a couple of months ago about Medicare, Medicaid, open enrollment, and to this day, one of the most downloaded episodes of the Family First Retirement podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really great.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's nice.
You know what's so great about that, Mark? And it says a lot about Angie. You know, we always say you go to the doctor and you have a sprained wrist, but they use these really big words so you have a sprained wrist, right? What good does that do me if I don't know what the heck you're talking about? Angie explains the Medicare portion of your retirement like you're sitting across the kitchen table having a conversation with a friend and family member. It's in simple words, explain to you the pros and cons of doing Medicare Advantage, doing a supplement plan. What's the right prescription plan for you if you need that? All the benefits and features. And it makes it easy to flow for people to understand. And that shows the character and the person she is.
You can meet Angie when you visit PatriaWealth.com, P-A-T-R-I-A Wealth.com. Or, of course, give the team a call at any time, 302-330-2166. Angie, let's look at 2025. What kind of advice, what kind of tips are you offering the families you serve so we can have the best year ever?
Well, 2025 is going to be a great year for America in itself. So everybody, I just say to start preparing. You're never too old or too young to start preparing for retirement. You know, it doesn't matter if you're in your 20s, 40s, 50s. It's, you know, the time is now to start preparing. Even if it's something small, you know, we're here to assist you. We are a family-owned company, and we look at everybody as a value.
Right.
Everybody's money, no matter how much you have, folks, is important because it's your money. And, you know, we want to help you be in the right place possible heading into 2025 and to your future. So if you think you're, you know, too young to consider doing anything, believe me, you're not.
She's absolutely right. You're never too young to start planning for tomorrow. Whether you're Jared's age, 26, 27, or you're much older in retirement already. You know, I just watched the Eagles last week beat up on the filthy Pittsburgh Steelers. It was great. I'm so happy they played well. But they got in the red zone a lot, right? And the red zone for retirement is those 5 years before retirement, retirement years, and 5 years after. It's never too late to jump in this game and understand how it's going to benefit you. But you need to get into the game to understand it. And that's exactly what Angie and the team here at Portray Wealth is going to help you do.
We don't really care. You know, we have people that are hairdressers, construction workers, executives, big political positions. It doesn't really matter. The thing is that I'm so proud of everybody, especially the ones that don't have as many financial assets as the ones that do, because they want to be conscientious for their future to prepare for it. That makes us the proudest.
Angie, before we let you go, we need to get probably the most important question of the weekend here on Family First Retirement. What is your take on the 9-foot tree and the 8-foot ceilings?
Oh, Lord have mercy. What can I tell you? Beyond. We need a video because George wanted to get the biggest tree there was, but he just never considered how high the ceiling was. So when I came in, I said, oh, my God, because we had a little bird incident that birds were flying in our office, you know. So
true story.
This is true.
In the sub ceiling, yes.
So I said in the sub ceiling. So I said, oh my God, we're going to come in and we're going to have a flock of birds in here now too. They'll be hanging in the tree with us. So you know, very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. What can I tell you?
What a great way to put very nice. What that
I think
meant
she was being
was
sarcastic.
bless your
Maybe I'm
sweetheart.
wrong. Yes, exactly.
PatriaWealth.com, P-A-T-R-I-A Wealth.com. And of course, we invite you to make the call this weekend. We know you have a lot going on. But as you heard from Achilles, Jared, and Angie, there are steps to making 2025 the best year ever. But it doesn't start until you make the phone call to get on the schedule to sit down with George Politarhos to begin having these conversations. It's no cost. It's no obligation. Take advantage of that Family First Retirement Plan. Again, 302-330-2166. You can call right now, or of course, PatriaWealth.com. Hey, George, thank you so much. And a quick shout out to Ernie Callias as well. The in-house CPA for the Portray Wealth Group couldn't join us this weekend, but he's always working, George.
Absolutely. That's what he's doing right now.
Yes, he is.
I don't have time for your little radio show. It's almost 2025, and then taxes get up here.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Well, you can meet Ernie George, Jared, Angie, Achilles, the entire team at GetItBetrayWealth.com. Insurance and annuities offered through George A. Politarhos, Delaware Insurance License Number 1373121. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties.